That's like dark and mysterious. Am I glowing or is that just me?
Maybe one day I'll fall in a bookstore into the arms of a guy.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you didn't know, my name is Charlotte and I go on vacation in 4 days. Today is August 19th and we leave on the 23rd, so I'm getting really excited. Holy crap, the thunder. But I decided today on the books that I'm gonna bring on my vacation. We're going to North Carolina, by the way, so it's definitely very beachy and I'm so excited about the lineup that I chose. I feel like it's like a lot for me to be reading in 13 days, but it's okay. Here are the books that I'm bringing. It's a few, I do realize that. And this isn't even all of it. I'm still bringing 2 more. One we ordered on Amazon and another one I'm reading on my Kindle / as an audiobook. So let's get into these and I'm gonna tell you guys all about these books, the genres, the tropes, the general plot line without knowing that much about them or having read any of them with one exception. So let's get into it. If you can hear any background noise, it's because there is a thunderstorm going by if you hadn't heard already. And I have a strawberry matcha that I made, which is scrumptious. Perfection. Chef's kiss. Anyways, let's get right into these books. Again, here's our stack. I wrote down on Notion all of the stats for these books, so let me just pull up Notion. Okay, my beach reads. First one, I always screw up when I say this. The first one is Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotti. Liana is I feel like not a very well-known author, but I absolutely love this book. This is the only reread that I'm going to be reading on this vacation. This is like a little rom-com book. So for genres, it's rom-com and realistic fiction. It takes place in West Village, New York City. And then the tropes are childhood friends to lovers and friends to lovers, as well as fake dating. Fake dating is one of my favorite tropes. I love it so much. Probably why I love this book so much. And then there's 310 pages and my rating, this is the only one that has a rating since it's the only one I've actually read before this, is 4.5. I honestly, looking back on it, I think of it as a 5-star book and I fell in love with these characters. And there was also a wild plot twist. So once I reread, it might change to a 5-star. I do not know. But then about this book, hopeless romantic Daniela Daisy is finishing college when she runs into her high school best friend Levi, who convinces her to be his fake date at his sister's wedding, and they obviously end up actually falling in love. It's honestly really short and I'm gonna try to finish it in 2 days on the first day of the road trip. I'm so excited for that one. Liana Cincotti is the author of Don't Be in Love as well. Don't Be in Love was her first published book and I liked it. I would recommend it. I normally prefer Picking Daisies on Sundays to this one. This is set in London. It was so cute. The next book is The Hawthorne Legacy by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is the sequel to The Inheritance Games. I absolutely love The Inheritance Games. Looking back on it, I think of it as a 5-star book and I absolutely am so excited for this one. I already read a few chapters and this is kind of a mystery / thriller book. I feel like I can also read this in the span of a day or two. Realistic fiction. And then the setting takes place at the Hawthorne Mansion in Texas. The tropes are a love triangle / in my opinion a love square. She basically has 3 different love interests and they're all brothers. So it's this Summer I Turned Pretty final boss, I guess you could say. And then a wealthy family trope, but really freaking wealthy. There's 352 pages. If you haven't read The Inheritance Games, this won't make a lot of sense. But basically, this girl Avery inherits billions of dollars from a man that she's never met before. The way for her to inherit it is that she has to go solve a series of puzzles at the guy's mansion. He has since passed away, but his 4 grandsons help her with the puzzles. But now in the sequel, Avery sets off to find the one person that can give her answers with Jameson and Grayson, which are 2 of the brothers and the love interests. I am Team Xander. Literally, Xander is my favorite character and I love him and I think she should date him. Because honestly, he's just the better option out of all 3 of them, let's be honest. I'm really excited for this though. On the back it says mystery, riches, romance, and betrayal. It's kind of hard to classify this into one genre because it's just so diverse, I feel like. Okay, the next book is The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. I actually went to a bookstore yesterday and got this and I'm gonna take the sticker off because it says 5% off publisher's list price and I do not want that on my book. It was the most clean sticker takeoff that has ever happened to me. That's insane. This is honestly such a highly anticipated read for me because Haley Pham, which is one of my favorite booktubers, says this is one of her favorite fantasy books ever and I'm honestly just so excited to read this. Imagine me just sitting on the beach and then I'm reading about this super high stakes fantasy, but I love high stakes fantasies. I'm so excited. The genres are fantasy, fiction. Pretty sure it's a subplot of romance. Setting is in the High Court of Fairy, which is called Elfhame, and then the tropes are enemies to lovers and betrayal. That's what Google said. There's 370 pages and about the book is basically Jude's parents got murdered when she was 7. This is no spoilers, by the way. the way. This is all on the back. And her 2 sisters got taken to the court of Fae, except they're all humans. And fast forward 10 years and the Fae still hate the humans. Now Jude has to risk it all with an alliance, and she needs to defy Prince Cardan, the youngest and wickedest son of the High King. So it's very, very like romantic-y vibes. So excited for that one, honestly. Okay, the next book is Caraval by Stephanie Garber. I don't have the physical copy, we just ordered it on Amazon, so it's okay, trust. I actually do have the book Once Upon a Broken Heart, and I was really excited to read that. I got it from Barnes & Noble and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. Then I watched a reading vlog, actually also by Haley Pham, but she was like, if you don't read the Caraval trilogy before this series, it will spoil it. And I was like, oh, so I'm cooked. I decided to get Caraval, and now I'll read Caraval before that. And then I also feel like the Once Upon a Broken Heart series would be really, really fun to read in fall. I just like wrapped that. Oh my gosh. Usually I'm like stuttering everything, but I said that so quickly. I'm actually so proud. Anyways, back to Caraval. The genres are fantasy, romance, so like a romantasy, and then fiction. The setting is the made-up island of Trisda, and then the ropes. See, there's the stuttering. The tropes are enemies to lovers, sisterly love, again, that's what Google said, and sacrifice. 407 pages. Scarlett has always dreamed of going to Caraval, a performance that the audience gets to participate in. So I kind of imagine it as like a circus. I don't think it's like a circus. Finally, she gets an invitation and goes with her sister Tella. Then Tella gets kidnapped by the organizers of Caraval, and Scarlett finds out that the theme of Caraval this year is who can find Tella first. Scarlett battles with trying to figure out what they'll do to Tella if she's not found. So it's definitely very high stakes and definitely very fiction, which when I first heard about it, I thought it was like a realistic fiction, but no, it's like very much made up and fictionalized. Okay, the next one is Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. This is the book that I'm probably the most freaking excited to read. Oh my gosh. First of all, I got the one with sprayed edges, and it is so gorgeous. I absolutely love the yellow and the blue. I'm actually so obsessed with this book, like you do not even know. I want to take this sticker off. I don't know if I can. It'd be really annoying if this freaking damages my book, but just give me a second. I also got this recently, if you can't tell. Okay, that was clean. That was clean. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. I would have had actually been so mad if that did not come off cleanly. I'm just so excited to read this, and honestly, if you haven't heard of this, what are you doing? This is like a highly anticipated like 6-star read for me, because one of my best friends, Ella, just read it and she was like, I did not want to finish it because she like procrastinated reading the last 10 pages because she was like, I am like just love this book. That's amazing. And then also Haley Pham says this is one of her favorite romance books of all time, so I was like, okay guys, stop with the recommendations, I got you. Genres are romance and realistic fiction, and the setting is a small town in Nebraska, which is I feel like not very commonly written about. Tropes are childhood friends to lovers and friends to lovers, similar to Pickin' Daisies and Sundays. And then there's 356 pages, and Wes Bennett helps Liz Buxbaum get set up with Michael, whom she's had a crush on. Wes and Liz are childhood friends reconnecting and soon fall for each other instead of her falling for Michael. I've like made these like little blurbs about the plot and theme and everything by myself. Liz Buxbaum has always known that Wes Bennett was not boyfriend material, but Wes has only proven himself to be a pain in the butt ever since they were little. Flash forward 10 years to Liz's senior year, a time meant to be rife with milestones, perfect for any big screen, and she needs Wes's help. Liz's forever crush Michael has just moved back in town, and he's hitting it off with Wes. She needs Wes. He's her in. So yeah, I was kind of correct about that. Honestly, I swear, if I like mess this book up since I'm going to the beach like with the Walter? What? With the water and the sands. I don't know where Walter came from. Okay, well, moving on. Lynn Painter is the author of Betting on You, and I really like this book too. I would love it if it was a little bit on the shorter side, so I'm really excited to read Better Than the Movies. Similar to the title of Better Than the Movies, we have Better Than Fiction by Alexa Martin. I have never heard of this author, and I was in Barnes & Noble a few weeks ago, and I saw this cover, and I absolutely like fell in love with it. That is so pretty. I'm honestly really getting into like maroon or like dark burgundy kind of colors recently, because apparently I look good in like reds and blues. So I took an online like color analysis. Especially like the back is also really pretty too. Like it's definitely one of those books that I judge a book by its cover, but like in a good way, you know what I mean? The genres are realistic fiction and romance, and then the setting is in Denver, Colorado, which I'm actually really excited to read about. I feel like that's just such like a picturesque location. Tropes are opposites attract, slow burn, close proximity, and I actually didn't know this, but one bed, which I feel like is so hit or miss, but that's gonna be like really interesting. There's 305 pages, so it's really short and sweet. Book hater Drew inherits her grandmother's bookstore and is in way over her head. When she meets Jasper, a famous author and hopeless romantic at his book signing event, Jasper becomes convinced to show her everything there is to love about books. Which I think is honestly such an interesting trope. Like, I love books, but if I inherited a bookstore, I would be like, guys, Why me? Like, can we leave me out of this? And then a little quote from the back of the book. But Jasper is the plot twist she never saw coming, and he's writing a happily ever after just for them. That sounds so cute. I read a few lines of the dialogue and it sounds like really, really good and interesting banter. Like, I'm really excited for it. It sounds really realistic too. It's like how people actually talk. I also really like that her name is Drew. Like, I don't know. I like when girls are named guy names. I don't know if that makes sense. Why is it so blurry? Can we not do that? Thank you. Why are we so blurry today? Can we not do that? Like, excuse me? Focus. Anyone? Okay, there it is. There we go. Anyways, I can genuinely see this as being a 6-star read for me, or even like a 5-star. This plot just sounds so cute. Hidden Oracle by Rick Riordan. It's the first book of the Trials of Apollo series. I just finished Heroes of Olympus and I was like trying to figure out what I need to read next. I googled it and did my research and I was like, is it Trials of Apollo? And I was really excited. I still don't know if that's the right book to read after Heroes of Olympus, so can you guys please let me know if you've read like the Rick Riordan series, if I should read Trials of Apollo after Heroes of Olympus, or if I should read a different book. I don't know what I should do, but I got this book on Kindle and as an audiobook. Genre is fantasy and fiction. The setting is just like in the PJO universe. Sorry, I don't know why that sounded so weird. The tropes are fish out of water and enemies to friends, 376 pages, and then this is a little excerpt. It says, how do you punish an immortal? By making him human. Apollo gets turned into a human after angering his father Zeus, but tons of monsters come after him, so he goes to Cape Aplid for help. If you haven't read the Percy Jackson series, this probably doesn't make any sense to you, but that's not my fault. Go read it. Hey, that was kind of smart. Stop. Last final book, Love and Olives by Jenna Evans Welch. Is it Welch? Is it Welch? Like Welch's Gummies or like Welsh? Welch? I don't. Jenna. The genres are realistic fiction, romance, and maybe like kind of a mystery. I don't really know about the genres. Like the back of the book doesn't give that much information on like the non-romantic parts of the book, so I'm a little bit confused, but it's okay. Setting is in Santorini, Greece, which I just love the vibe of that. Like I genuinely love Greece. The tropes are insta love, travel romance, and I don't like insta love, but I loved the book Love and Gelato by the same author. Not gonna say her name because I don't know how to pronounce it. This is really cute. I loved how it was like a romance, but it also had other aspects to it that weren't romance. However, the one thing I didn't like about this book is that two like love interests that are meant to get together at the end of the book, they meet and get together within 7 days. I'm like, how do you become friends in 7 days, let alone dating? I think I gave it like 4.5 stars, but it was still a really, really good book. And it's set in Italy, which is really fun. But back to Love and Olives. I'm kind of like upset that this is also an insta love. There's 503 pages, which like you can tell this is a fat book. That is no ordinary romance book right there. Liv gets asked by her absent father, who fled to Greece when she was 8, to come visit him and help him film a documentary about the city of Atlantis. She heads to Santorini, Greece, and things are awkward, but she meets Theo, her father's charismatic protege. Liv is charmed by Santorini, but her father invited her to Greece for something much more important than Atlantis. That is all I know that the back cover gives about this. I'm sorry, that was so awkward. What is more important than Atlantis? Like, I want to know, but at the same time, I'm not going to Google it so I don't spoil it. Some books like this are really intimidating though, but love this vibe. It's like so summery, and like with Greece, I just love Greece personally because of like the Percy Jackson Olympian series and like the Heroes of Olympus. Obviously, that's like very based in Greece. In the book that I'm writing, my main character is from Greece, so you kind of hear a lot about like her backstory, I guess, and like birthplace. Is that what you would say? I don't know. It's like the perfect beachy read, and I might listen to part of it as an audiobook. Okay, anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to film and I tried to keep it on the shorter side. Maybe I'll let you know after vacation or in like my vacation vlog how many books of these that I actually read, because I'm assuming I'm only gonna read like half of them, but I really want to have lots of options and kind of mood read while I'm there and like see what I want to read in the moment, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm really excited about all these books and I really hope that they are all rated pretty high, because the book that I'm reading right now, it's called When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and I'm not loving it. It's like kind of cringy and like really slow. But I'm also reading The Hunger Games right now, so I'm trying to finish those before I leave for vacation and then like read these. So I'm really hoping that these will be like really good, like kind of get me out of like a mini book slump that When in Rome has put me in. Let's cross our fingers for that. I'm also gonna do like a ton of writing while I'm on vacation, and I'm just like so excited for vacation, honestly. Like it's gonna be so much fun. Also, if you want more information on these books, I probably talked about some of them at least in other videos. I know I at least talked about picking these on Sundays. Go watch all my other videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye guys.